everyone and welcome to this full walkthrough for Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. In this walkthrough, I will be showing you how to get all 5 dyad items, how to repair all the arcade machines, and how to get all the endings. And I'll give you tips and tricks along the way so you can do all of this in the most optimal way possible. In the prologue here, it's pretty straightforward. You just go straight down, go through this door, and hop in the pit. When we get to the new area, just leave the room, and go up the dining area, and you will talk to 2 other kids and make good friends with them. After finishing the dialogue, you just follow them down the dining area towards the entrance and then into the arcade. Talk to them here and quickly complete this arcade game. Then you can play tag, but just to make things go faster, I'm gonna get caught quickly here. And next we're gonna play hide and seek. So to find a good hiding spot, we want to go back to the arcade area. And then go down the hall here. We are making our way to the storage room. Inside here, you will want to hide in the Golden Freddy suit. And then some lovely things will happen. By the way, I'm going to be skipping most of the story and dialogue because you guys can read it for yourself as you play through the game. Alright, so now we can move. So go down the arcade back towards the entrance, and we are going to the dining area. And real quick, I'm going to stop here for a moment because, yes, you can technically end the game right here. If you go out the front door and just ignore his initial text with the door, you will leave and it will be game over. So that is the very first ending you can get in this game. But let's not do that and continue on normally. So I'm going to go down that dining area here, and you want to stop at the first door you come to and go through there. You'll see the wonderful Pit Bonnie, who you will then follow to the end of the party hallway. Open the door and be ready to see something creepy. Now we're gonna run down the party hallway back to the dining area, and we are making our way to the ball pit, because that is the only way we can escape from Pit Bonnie. Alright, next you'll be pulling your dad out of the pit, but unfortunately he is possessed. Now we are in Oswald's house for night 1. Now, before we do anything, the very first thing I want you to do is go to the left door here and pull down the attic ladder, because there is a chance for a Freddy mask to drop down. Now, this is a random chance, so if it doesn't spawn for you, that's okay. Just open the ladder the next time in the morning, and if it doesn't spawn then, you just keep opening and opening and opening until you get the Freddy mask. The next thing we're gonna do is go to the kitchen and then go to the basement, because in here is a rope that we need and a weight resistance mechanism that will be for fixing an arcade machine. Now I'm going to go back to the parents' room, and before you say anything about the mom's number on the fridge, her number is the same exact number every single time. You do not need to collect the number on the fridge to call her. So yeah, we want to go into the parents' bedroom. Oswald will see Pit Bonnie there and say that we need to distract him first. The distraction you can do is there's a sewing machine right here we can turn on, and then immediately hide in the closet here. Pit Bonnie will come out and just wait for him to leave, then exit your hiding spot and go into the parents' bedroom. The phone will be sitting on the nightstand on the right side. You can grab it, and then we can call Oswald's mom. Her number is always gonna be 555-5683. As soon as you call that number, Pit Bonnie's gonna come looking for you, so hide under the bed immediately. Pip Bonnie will eventually leave, and then Oswald will say something about his mom being home. That's when you can exit from under the bed and make your way to the front door. You don't have to worry about Pip Bonnie here. I believe he should not be roaming around at this point. After talking to Mom, you'll be back in your bedroom, and now we have to escape the house while Pip Bonnie is roaming around. I recommend always listening for any sounds across the door before entering to make sure Pip Bonnie is not there. And I'm just gonna go out the front door here. A quick note for escaping the house: there are 4 different ways to escape the house. Each night you can only use one way to escape the house, after which Pip Bonnie will deny you from leaving the house in the same way. For example, you can leave out the front door on this first night like I'm going to do, but on other nights, if you try to leave out the front door, it will be barricaded. The other ways to leave the house is by using the screwdriver on the window, using the rope to get down from the attic, and then taking the ladder from the attic and bringing it to the basement. You can choose to do whichever you want. The latter one is the most difficult, or you can follow me and escape the ways that I escape. Now in the pizzeria, there's a ton of arcade machine parts that I'm going to walk you through getting right now. It's essential to collect these because we need them to get the secret ending. So first we have the space age speakers, which are found in the arcade at the very end next to this out of order ticket eater. And then if you go in the storage room, which is over here, you can get the Electron Gun from this shelf. Then go straight down into the party hallway and go to this trash can, because inside of it is a power supply. Then walk down to the table with the purple cloth and you will find the control panel. The next item is going to be in the Past World Pizzeria, so let's go ahead and make our way to the dining area, and then down to the ball pit. Once you hop in the ball pit, you're gonna see the wooden balls right here in this room, so just walk on over and pick them up. Now we need to find the crying kid, which is pretty easy because he's in the dining area. Oh, and there's a token here. The reason you want to pick up those tokens is they let you play the games in the arcade in the Past World Pizzeria. However, you can't access the arcade until night 3 in the Past World. Now we want to go backstage. And here you will find your dad's wallet. This is the first of the 5 dad items we must collect for the secret ending and some other endings. And while we're on the topic, let me quickly explain the dad items. There are going to be 5 items in total, and you must collect all of them if you want to unlock some alternate endings. About 1 dad item will spawn each night. So, for example, you can only get 1 item per night, but once you're past that night, you can get the item at any time, if that makes sense. So, for example, the very first item you can get is Dad's wallet, which is in the backstage area. It spawns on night 1. But you cannot get the school photo in the storage room until night 2. If you go there on night 1, it will not be there. So night 2 and later, you can get the school photo in the storage room. On night 3 and later, you can get the family photo in the kitchen. And then on night 4, you can get the name tag that's in the bottom right of the storage room and the dad's ring that's in the security office. Now let's get back to our main objective. Now we can try to open this back door here and it will be locked. So then your next objective is to find the key. So now we can return to the present world pizzeria so we can talk to Jeff. And I'm gonna walk you through all the way there. I don't want to do a bunch of cuts because I don't want you guys to get lost. I'm only gonna cut out like dialogue and cinematics. Real quick guys, if this guide is helpful, please leave a like and comment something. It really helps with the algorithm. You could tell me anything like, what's your favorite FNAF game? Or if you have any questions, comment below and I will answer them. And make sure you subscribe as well to let me know that you enjoyed the guides and you want more Five Nights at Freddy's guide content or gameplay. After talking to Jeff, he'll give you a flashlight and tell you to take out the trash in exchange for the key. So you just need to pick up the trash bag, go out the pizzeria to the mill. At the mill, there's going to be several items we want to pick up. First, drop off the trash, then pick up this battery here so you can reload your flashlight. Go to the left here and pick up the puzzle matrix. And then go to the far left here and pick up the rat trap, which we will need for night 2. Now we can go back to the pizzeria and talk to Jeff. He will give us the key. Quick note here, you can start repairing the arcade machines right away with the parts we have collected, and playing those games will let you earn tickets that you can redeem for vouchers. However, the actual machine that allows you to redeem tickets, you cannot repair until night 3 because that's when the part spawns in the past pizzeria. And you also cannot go to the Past World Pizzeria arcade until you get rid of Bonnie on night 3. Moving on, let's go into the ball pit. Alright, now we can make our way to the dining area and then go backstage. And there's going to be a token slot item in the basement area here. So when you enter, you want to go up over here. You can see this item sitting next to the broken arcade machines. That's the token slot. And then go over here to get the screwdriver. Now there's something super important we need to do before we rescue the stuck kid. Because guys, Pit Bonnie is not here hunting us yet. He does not spawn until we release this kid. The first thing I want you to do is walk over to this Gumball machine and interact with it 100 times. Yes, that's a 3-digit number 100 times with the Gumball machine, because doing so will unlock the secret Count the Ways minigame that you must complete in order to get the secret Family Fun Night ending. So I'm going to play through the game quickly here. Now you may be thinking here, wait, can't I call my mom to trigger the To Be Beautiful secret game that is also needed to unlock the secret Family Fun Night ending? Well, the answer is no, you cannot access that game until you are on the 5th night. And even then I recommend not doing the game right away because you could potentially lock yourself out of the Jeff ending if you do the game and then it autosaves. So for that secret game, I recommend always doing it at the very last second, just to make sure you don't lock yourself out of any endings. Now the next thing we want to do is not save the kid, but go to the entrance of the pizzeria. And you want to go to the top vent here and unscrew it. You can travel through the vent to go to the storage area, but there's not going to be anything here except maybe a token. The reason you want to do this is because this vent is one of the most important hiding spaces in the game that can help you escape from Pit Bonnie. But also it lets you travel around the pizzeria safely. After unscrewing that vent, now we can finally go and save the trapped kid. Once you walk up to the kid, interact with him to select the screwdriver. Be warned, as soon as you let the kid out and go through the dialogue, Pit Bonnie is going to pop out and chase you down. So you're going to have to beeline it to the ball pit. Alright, there he is, so now we run. And that will bring us to the end of night 1. Alright, day 2. First you want to go down here, and like I said earlier, if you did not get the Freddy mask, go to the left instead of to the kitchen, pull down the attic ladder, and see if the Freddy mask spawns. If it doesn't, then proceed to the kitchen and talk to your mom. After you're done talking to your mom, we can go in the dining room, then Oswald will see Pit Bonnie and freak out, so you can go back to the kitchen. Then you can pick up your lunch and leave for school. Alright, at school, you'll be at recess. Some kids will light up a firecracker. You just interact with the remains of the firecracker, and then you go back to class. The next super important item we need to get is the Voucher Validator, which is inside the school. When you leave the classroom, enter the next classroom you see, and inside here, next to the teacher's desk, will be the Voucher Validator. This is for the prize machine in order for you to redeem your vouchers for prizes. Now we can go to Jet, who will be standing in the hallway next to these lockers, and he will say that he's willing to trade something for a firecracker. So that's why it's so important to get the Freddy mask, because that's one of the 3 tradable items. The other 2 is Toy Freddy and the video game console, which I will go over how to get. You cannot get the video game console until night 3, and you can get Toy Freddy on night 2 or later. After talking to Jet, you go outside, and Gabriella gives you a creepy notebook, and then you want to go back to your house, where Pip Bonnie will greet you home. So for night 2, Pip Bonnie is patrolling your house. Again, stand next to doors and listen for Pip Bonnie. If you don't hear him, then you can go. Now I'm just gonna beeline it to the attic here. And you know that rope I said to get earlier? We're gonna use it to climb out of the attic window. Now we can go to the pizzeria to go to the ball pit. Alright, now that we are in the past pizzeria, the lights are gonna go off. This is introducing you to the mechanic where Pip Bonnie randomly turns off the lights. It makes this really loud, creepy music that makes it super hard to hear if any enemies are in the next room. And to fix it, you go to backstage, turn the fuse box on. However, this makes a ton of noise and will cause Pip Bonnie to run to your location. So I'm just gonna run in the back and hide in this chest here. And by the time Pip Bonnie comes, he'll have no idea where I am, so I shouldn't have to do a minigame. At this point, you just want to wait for Pip Bonnie to leave. As soon as he leaves, you can get out of the hiding spot and walk up to the door. But do not go through the door right away, because Pip Bonnie will patrol the backstage area and then leave. So just stand next to the door, listen for Pip Bonnie walking. If you don't hear him walking anymore, then go through the door and he should be gone. And then when you're in the backstage area, stand next to the curtain and listen for any footsteps. Something super important, guys, whenever you enter a new room, make sure you're not running all over the place, because if you're running, Pip Bonnie or Chica will instantly see you and get triggered. However, if you enter and you're walking, they won't always immediately see you, and so that can give you an opportunity to immediately go back out the way you came without being detected. So I'm going to be quiet here so you can listen to the footsteps. And I very faintly there heard a door close, so that's how you know they also left the room. It will be a bit more difficult once Chica's around, because Chica will also go through doors. Now I'm going to show you guys how to get our second dad item. First, we're going to go into the party hallway here, and then go straight up to storage. In the top left here, next to the presents, will be the school picture. But don't leave yet, because now you want to spam interact with these presents, and eventually Toy Freddy will pop out and you can pick him up. You may be asking, can you get this earlier? And the answer is no. I tried this on night 1 and I did it like, I swear, 100 times and nothing happened. But on night 2, he pops out. So unluckily for me, Pip Bonnie has turned off the power, and something super important about the power, guys, is that Pip Bonnie can turn it off from anywhere. He does not need to be in the backstage area to turn off the power. So don't assume that he's in the backstage just because the power went off. Remember to be very careful about the rooms you enter still. Look out for his shining eyes. But something else about the power outages is you can kind of cheese them if there is a story mechanic that is going on. For example, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the door to the kitchen, which will trigger the Chica cutscene and turn the power back on. So you can see now the lights are back on because I triggered the Chica event. And now since we grab... Oh my goodness! Okay, so Pip Bonnie Sometimes you can get unlucky like that and Pit Bonnie just walks into the room. You just want to make your way to a hiding spot as soon as possible. I really like the vent because it has one of the easiest quick time events to handle while you're hiding. The Golden Freddy suit is bait, guys. Never go in the Golden Freddy suit. That mini game is so hard. I like always die every time I hide in the Golden Freddy suit. Hiding under the tables is annoying because most of the time Pit Bonnie will always look under them and you have to flash them and run away again. So vents are a really safe spot. Now I'm going to travel through this vent and make a noise distraction by booping Freddy's nose here, and that will lure Pit Bonnie away from where we need to go. And you can see there he goes off. So now we can go to the party hallway and place the rat trap, which we got on night 1. All you need to do now is leave and then come back and the trap will be triggered. Pick up the rat trap, and now we want to go back to the present day pizzeria. And as you saw again, the power went out, but because I interacted with a story item, it turned back on. So you can kind of cheese the power sometimes by interacting with the story. Okay, Jeff will be mopping here. You have to talk to him first before you can release the rat. And then in order to release the rat, go down to this customer talking on her cell phone, and then release the rat next to her. Jeff will go run over there to deal with the rat, and now we can enter the kitchen door, which is the door that has employees only over it. And the pizza is sitting right here on the counter. Just grab a slice, and if you want a battery as well, grab one from the sink. Now let's go back to the pit. Alright, so I hear footsteps, so I'm not gonna enter the dining area just yet. I'm gonna wait until I hear a door or something. So I will say this, sometimes you have to be super patient in this game, guys, because it can take them forever to leave the room. And I just want to show you the uncut footage here of how long it can take for them to leave. Alright, so it sounded like he entered the dining area, but actually he didn't, it seems, because I don't see him here. So I'm just going to come out from under the table, go into the party hallway. You want to go to Chica's trash pile and place the slice of pizza here. Chica will come out of the kitchen to get the pizza. Now we can go to the kitchen. If the phone is ringing, you can pick it up. You get some nice dialogue from Phone Guy, which I'm going to skip.
Hello?
And then you want to go over to the sink and let Mike out. Now once you let Mike out, Pit Bonnie can be in the dining hallway or the party hallway. He can be anywhere. So, like that! So if you're in a chase with Pit Bonnie, you cannot trigger the ending scene with Mike. So you must first lose him, and then after losing him, go back into the entrance. So I'm just going to show you the process here of losing Pit Bonnie. Alright, he finally left, so I can exit this vent. And I'm just gonna enter the dining area and then come right back in, and the end sequence will begin. I'll also pick up this token. It's okay, the power went out, just walk over here and the end sequence will start. Pit Bonnie will bust out and grab you, just spam spacebar, or whatever button you have to press. and then just run straight for the ball pit. And that brings us to the end of night 2. Alright, so for day 3 here, you cannot go into the attic area yet because that's the area Pit Bonnie went into. So you must first go to the kitchen and talk to your mom. Now I'm gonna leave because I already have the Freddy mask. And real quick here, if you want batteries, just check like bookshelves, drawers. In the basement here, you can look back here and find batteries. They're all over the place if you check the areas. But anyways, now you can go ahead and check the attic if you don't have the Freddy mask yet. I already have the Freddy mask, so I'm just gonna leave and go to school. Alright, at school here, we are given a task to get a book. So you want to go out the door and go all the way down to the principal's office and talk to her. She will give you a task to find her keys. So now we gotta go back down the hall into the other classroom, and her keys will be in there next to the teacher's desk. Okay, now go back to the principal and give her the keys so you can get access to her office. Alright, once inside, just pick up the book, and then you'll also pick up the stretchy hand as well, and then we can go back to our classroom to get through the rest of the day. Alright, there's nothing else that we need here, so go ahead and head on home. Alright, so for this night, I'm gonna do the easiest escape and just use the screwdriver on my window to get out. And you can see the attic is all boarded up, which means we couldn't use that anymore anyway. Now we can go to the pizzeria. And I'm gonna head to the dining area. But real quick here, guys, you can go into the arcade by taking the long way around. You just have to go through the party hallway and then into the arcade. We now have pretty much almost all the items to repair the arcade machines, but I don't want you to go there yet. First, let's go to the ball pit, because the most important item we need to get is to make the ticket redeeming machine work. And so that item we can only get inside the past pizzeria. So follow me down to the pit. I entered the door and hear the creepy sounds, but since I walk to the table here, Pit Bonnie does not see me. So now I'm gonna wait for Pit Bonnie and Chica to leave because they are both in here. Alright, so one of them left. Now I just have to wait for the other one. And the phone that is ringing is in the kitchen, by the way. Which, we have to go to the kitchen anyway because that has the next dad item in it. Oh, and Pit Bonnie just re-entered. It is very easy to tell when Pit Bonnie enters because the creepy music plays and you can hear him breathing heavily. So always listen out for that. Of course he's gonna go in the kitchen, which is the area I want to go to. So I'm gonna get out and just stand next to the kitchen door and try to listen for him leaving. Okay, I heard a door, so I think he left the kitchen, so now we can finally get the family vacation photo, which will be next to the oven here. And this is the third dad item that we need to get for the secret ending, and some other endings. And you can answer the phone here and talk to the phone guy if you wish. Now we want to go into the party hallway. Only if it's safe, guys. Remember to always listen. And you can see there's a little sparkle on the vent right there. You want to use your sticky hand on it, and you can get the keys to the arcade. Now let's go enter the storage room. And then go up to the arcade door to unlock it. Go down here and you will see Bonnie. And now we have to get rid of Bonnie. So guys, once we get rid of Bonnie, we'll be able to access the arcade in the past Pizza World. So we want to go down to the party room, and unlucky for me, Chica is here. So I'm going to run down and hide in the dining area. Okay, Springtrap finally left, so now I can go to the stage area because I'm going to the backstage, since that is where Bonnie's guitar is. And we must first interact with the guitar before we can fix it. Now our objective will be updated, but do not leave yet, because there's an important item we must get, and that is the ticket counter. This will allow us to fix the ticket eater. It's going to be at the very end of the dining area next to the front entrance door. So I'm going to go there now quickly and pick it up, and then we will leave the ball pit. Alright, now that we got the ticket counter, let's make our way to the ball pit. And go into the dining area. Let's not leave right away because I want to explain something about the arcade machines. So now we have every single item we need to fix all of the arcade machines. So if you wish, you can do that right now, or you can do it on a later night. But if you wish to fix the arcade machines, just go up here into this area and fix every single arcade machine. And while we are here, I'm going to explain more about the secret family fun night ending. In order to get this ending, one of the requirements is to fix and play all of the machines. Now, you do not have to fix the prize machine where you redeem your ticket vouchers at, because the very first time I did my playthrough, I actually didn't fix that machine, but I still got all the prizes from the past World Pizzeria, so it was all good. So for the games, like where you throw the wooden balls, you have to play through the entire round. But for any game where you can kind of die, you can just immediately die. Now supposedly you don't have to beat any of the arcade games in order to get the secret ending. However, some people have been having trouble getting the secret ending, so I recommend beating Rescue the Children, the Party Hats game, and the Freddy puzzle, and you'll know you beat the game because you'll get a success when you finish the game. So I will show you here now how to beat Rescue the Children. Now there's one extra thing you have to do for the Balloon Boy game, which is find the secret 6 hat. To get it, you can collect all the hats in the main room, which you don't have to do to get the 6th hat, it's just to activate the exit door. But anyways, collect all the hats, which I'm showing you how to do here. Then go over here and run into the wall to transition to another area. Keep going down and you will see a purple guy holding the last hat. And he will do a quick 3, 2, 1 countdown and drop the hat. So you must move quickly to leap forwards and then immediately move right so you can grab the hat while it falls, but not fall yourself. Then go back the way you came and go to the exit door. Here is how I did the Freddy puzzle. Now be warned, the Freddy puzzle is randomized, so the puzzle that you have probably will not match the one that I have, and that's what makes this puzzle so hard. Because of the randomization, you can't really make a straightforward guide on how to beat this puzzle. But I'll show you my entire process here of how I beat the Freddy puzzle. Now let's talk about the prize machine. So the prize machine requires a ticket voucher, and you will need 5 vouchers in total to get all the items that you need. To get ticket vouchers, you must repair the ticket eater with the ticket counter, and then you can put 20 tickets in there to get 1 voucher. Now just to be clear, you can play the arcade games in the past pizzeria, however they require tokens to play, which means if you don't have any tokens, you have to search for more. Only 4 tokens can spawn at a time, so it's not like you can stock up on tokens. And also Chica and Pip Bonnie are wandering around the area, so they might run in on you. So while yes, you technically can play all the arcade games in the past pizzeria, it's a lot more dangerous and complex to do, and you might as well just do it in present day because you have unlimited tries and no one's hunting you. Now what's the most optimal way to get 20 tickets? Well, that will be the Hefton with Helpules game. That's because you only have to do 20 reps to get 20 tickets, so you can basically get 20 tickets super easy each round. However, you might be asking yourself, how is that easy? Because you're spamming that E key and you can barely get 10. Well, if you have a programmable mouse or keyboard, you can create a macro to spam the E button way faster than you can do with your own hands. And you just activate that macro, spam the reps, and profit. Here is the macro that I made to spam E. Now, if you don't have a programmable keyboard or mouse, what you can do is plug in a controller or connect a controller via Bluetooth and then press the keyboard input and the controller input at the same exact time, and that will allow you to basically get double the reps that you normally would be able to do if you just spam those buttons really hard. Now, if you're a console player, well, you're a bit out of luck in this area. Your only choice would be to find whichever arcade game you're best at and do that one until you have 100 tickets. But anyways, in order to get 5 vouchers, you will need 100 tickets. Once you have those tickets, go to the ticket eater and get your vouchers, and then you want to go over to the prize machine here. To be able to redeem prizes in the present day prize machine, you must fix it with the Voucher Validator. Your first ticket will give you the video game console, which you can use to trade Jet in the next night, but remember you also have Toy Freddy and the Freddy mask to also trade him, so you don't necessarily need that. The next 3 vouchers are going to get you the 3 stickers for your sketchbook, and then the final voucher, do not put it in the present day pizzeria prize machine. If you do, it will eat it, and you'll have to play the game again to get another voucher. And it doesn't matter how many you put in now, every single time it will eat the prize voucher, so just don't do it. Instead, what you will want to do is use that voucher in the past pizzeria. Doing so on the past world pizzeria will trigger the secret fetch minigame that you have to complete to unlock the Family Fun Night ending. And I will show you that entire minigame later when we get back to Save Chip. And something else to note is that instead of using any of your vouchers on the present day prize machine, you could just use them all on the past pizzeria prize machine, and then you don't have to worry about accidentally wasting a voucher. Be careful in the past world when redeeming prizes because it can trigger enough noise to cause Pip Bonnie to chase you. So it's totally up to you if you want to use it on present day or past day, but if you want to optimize, just use it on the past day one. So that's how all the things with the arcade machine work and interact with the secret ending. Now let's continue on with the main night objective. Let's go ahead and leave the pizzeria because we need to go to the mill. Once you're at the mill, interact with the garbage piles so you can get the guitar string. And then you'll find a nice surprise in the shadows. After you get the string, return to the pizzeria and head to the ball pit. Now we go backstage so we can interact with Bonnie's guitar and fix it. Now we can go to the stage to play the guitar and lure Bonnie out. Unluckily for me, the power went out and you cannot do this while the power is out, so I have to turn it back on and wait for Pip Bonnie to leave me alone. Whenever I have to do the power stuff, I always go back here to hide in the vent or chest. Okay, he finally left, so now I'm going up to backstage and then I'm going to listen for footsteps next to the curtain and then go out. Okay, I heard a door, so now I'm gonna go out. No one's here, so time to play some guitar. Be ready for quick time events because they are happening right now. Okay, now Bonnie's gonna come charging at us, so we want to run back here. Now, as soon as we enter the basement, Oswald is gonna control himself. And then you have to escape from Bonnie with a quick time event. And then now we can finally go to the arcade. Be careful here because Pip Bonnie can walk in on you as soon as Oswald is done talking. But you want to make your way to the arcade, and something I'm going to do before I save Chip is interact with the prize machine. Because remember, I did get my ticket vouchers from that section when I was explaining how the arcade machines work. So now I'm going to get all my prizes from the prize machine here. And then my 5th voucher is going to trigger the secret fetch minigame that you must complete in order to get the family fun night ending. So I'm going to walk you through how to get all 6 balloons now. Now that I finished that secret game, it is time to release Chip. Be warned that Pip Bonnie is going to show up, and you're going to have to run away from him and go to the pit ASAP. Once you jump in the pit, that will be the end of this night, and we will proceed to day 4. Alright, so leave your room and go to the left over here. If you still do not have the Freddy mask, open up the attic and see if it drops, and continue on your merry way out the front door. But do not go to school yet, because we have to go to the library to meet Jet and get the firecracker item. So that is why I told you how to get the 3 items earlier, so you can trade Jet the Freddy mask, Toy Freddy, or the video game console, and he will give you a firecracker in return. Once you have made the trade, then make your way to school. Once you get to school, there will be a nice little cutscene here, and then you will want to make your way to the pizzeria. And night 4 is when you can get the final 2 dad items, which will be his name tag and his wedding ring. So to get those, let's go ahead and make our way to the ball pit. So I'm gonna enter the kitchen here because 2 guys just entered the dining area, I think. Okay, I'm gonna enter the party hallway. Okay, I hear footsteps, Chica's in there, so I'm gonna go back. Oh, of course Pip Bonnie's here, so I'm gonna run down here and hide under this table. Pip Bonnie is probably gonna look under here. The tables are like the worst hiding spot. Just be ready to press the quick action button. I'm gonna run to the entrance because there's a vent over there we can hide in. Okay, I'm gonna go through this vent, and this will lead us to the storage room. And in here, in the bottom right corner, hiding is Dad's name tag. The fifth and final item is gonna be in the security office, but I gotta wait for Chica to get out of here. And of course, Pit Bunny comes in here too. And of course, he's going in the security office. So sometimes this happens, you just have to wait them out. Okay, so they're finally leaving, so now we can get the fifth and final Dad item, which is Dad's wedding ring. When you interact with the door, Oswald is going to run over here to drop the firecracker to glitch out Freddy. And then he'll run back into the security office. Once you're in here, you can answer the phone, talk to phone guy, and then go over here and pick up Dad's wedding ring. And then we can talk to the girl. Once you talk to the girl, she'll ask you to look at the cams. You'll look at the cams and switch it to camera 4 and you'll get a nice little jump scare. Alright guys, so at this point, Pit Bonnie is no longer patrolling the area. So now this is the time to collect anything you missed, play any arcade machines, do any secret games, do the Gumball thing. This is the second best time to do it, and the third best time will be on night 5, which I will go over when we get to it. I have noticed the doors will still make the open and close sounds, but I don't believe Pit Bonnie should be anywhere at this moment. But once you're ready to progress, all you have to do is trigger any of the alarms in the area, doesn't matter which one, and then you can go back to the security office. When you get back to the security office, the girl will be missing, of course. And if you check the cameras, you see Pit Bonnie is taking her into the kitchen. Now we can exit the office, and I'm going to enter the vent here because I want to go to the entrance. Once at the entrance here, I'm going to boop Freddy's nose to lure Pit Bonnie over here, and then I'm going to go back to the storage area. Now I'm going to go down and to the right to the kitchen. Interact with the freezer door and your objective will update to find a way to open the freezer. Now you will want to go to the arcade. Uh-oh, someone's in here, so I'm gonna go back out. Guys, do you see that purple hand? Here, I will freeze it for you. That hand means Bonnie is under the table. If you get too close to him, then Bonnie will grab you and you have to struggle free. This could be very deadly if Pit Bonnie is chasing after you. So make sure to give plenty of space to tables with hands under them. So to get to the arcade, I'm just gonna take the long way around and go to the entrance. And we'll go through the broken door here. Go to the hammer machine right next to the Heftin with Helpules game and grab this hammer right off. Now let's make our way back to the kitchen. Of course, as soon as I enter, I hear Pit Bonnie, so I'm gonna hide in this vent and wait for him to leave. Okay, now that he's gone, let's go to the kitchen and save that girl. All you have to do is interact with the freezer door here and we can open it. And as always, Pit Bonnie will come just as you have rescued another child to chase you down. So just run to the ball pit as fast as possible to get out of there. And this will bring us to the most exciting day of all, day 5. Here, we immediately just need to go to the pizzeria. Now, Jeff will have locked the pit room, so we're not going to go directly there. Instead, you want to go to the storage office. But warning! Big warning, guys! As soon as you enter the security office and talk to Jeff, you will no longer be able to go back to the present world. So make 1,000,000,000% sure that you have done everything you possibly could have wanted before talking to Jeff here. Because as soon as you're done talking to Jeff, Pit Bonnie's gonna chase you down to the ball pit and you will not be able to come back at all, ever, okay? So make sure you fix all the arcade machines. As for getting chased, go straight to the ball pit. When you interact with the door, spam the button it says to press, and then dive into the pit ASAP. Now, unlike the other times, you are not going to be safe when you go through the pits. Pit Bonnie is going to spawn behind you, so you have to continue running. Now, like I said, hiding under tables sucks, so we want to go over this way to the dining area, go up to storage, and go in this vent. And then we will want to do the quick time events. Alright, and now he's left, I can go in the security office and you can answer the phone to hear a phone guy's last message for you.
Hello?
So now we need to go into the party hallway, but I'm really scared that they might be there, so I'm gonna wait a second. I don't hear anyone, so I'm just gonna walk a little bit over here. I just don't want to trigger anyone as soon as they enter. Okay, let's go in the vent here and travel through. The reason you have to take this way is because Pit Bonnie put Bonnie and Freddy in the front to block the way to the backstage. And we want to go back here. And in this pile, use the screwdriver on it and you'll get the key card. Now let's go back through the vent. Make sure nobody's around and then come out and use the key card on this door. Go inside and release this kid. Now, if you collected all the 5 dad items here, as soon as you talk to this kid, another picture is going to spawn on the floor here. But you do not want to pick it up right away because picking it up will change which ending you will get. Warning! Before you enter this vent, guys, make sure you have redeemed all 5 prize vouchers at the prize machine and did the mini game that the prize machine has, because as soon as you enter this vent, you will no longer be able to use the prize machine because this room is hidden behind the prize machine. So Pit Bonnie will knock over the prize machine after he takes your dad out of the room, and you can no longer redeem vouchers from it. So again, make sure you do that fetch secret game before going through this vent if you want the family fun time ending. So now, guys, we have reached basically the end point of the game, and whatever you do now will determine which ending you get. So now I'm going to go over all the endings that you can get in Into the Pit. So for the first basic ending, you just don't pick up the photo and you go through this vent. Then untie your dad, and when you hear the banging, hide in the vent, and Pit Bonnie will drag your dad outside. Oswald will come out of the vent, but just go back inside the vent and travel back to the party room, get out of the vent, then go down the party hallway to the dining area to the ball pit, which will initiate the ending scene, and I will play the ending for you now. The next ending you can get is the Jeff ending, which involves you collecting the 5 dad items, which I went over in this walkthrough, and then pick up the picture that you see in the party room here. Then do the exact same thing where you go through the vent, untie your dad, go to the ball pit, complete the quick time events, and you'll get a different ending that is happier for you, but not so much for Jeff. This next ending is kind of a super sad one. I'm not sure if picking up the picture changes it or not, and you can only get this ending once per run. But basically what you have to do is, I didn't pick up the picture, and then I failed the quick time event, and this is what happens. And now for the most lucrative and hardest ending to get, the family fun night. If you did everything I said in this walkthrough, which is repair all the arcade machines, collect all 5 dad items, finish Save the Children and solve the puzzle, play all the arcade machine games, you need to get the 6 party hats in the Balloon Boy game, and the secret game from the past Pizzeria prize machine, play the secret game from the past World Gumball machine, and call your mom on night 5 in the past Pizzeria world. But do not do it until after you free your dad, because once you do this, it will lock you out from the Jeff ending. So the last autosave from the game is usually when you let the girl out of the party room. So what I'm going to do here is first release my dad, and then now that I'm back in the party room, I will call my mom. Bonus, Pit Bonnie is no longer hunting you, so you don't have to worry about getting chased. And here's a tip, you can press the contacts and select mom if you don't remember her number. Now here is the final minigame. And with that out of the way, we can finally go to the ball pit. Now you will know you successfully did it because the dialogue between Oswald and his dad is going to slightly change. The first part will be the same, but once Oswald says he's sorry, the dad should say, "Oh Oz, you're not a pain." And that's how you know the dialogue is different from the Jeff ending. And then after they are done talking, you'll get this fun little scene where they're all at the pizzeria having a great time. But also at the end of the credits, you get a special message.